Okay, if you're trying to live a better life, watch this video. I'm going to be talking about gratitude today. So, gratitude for me is waking up in the morning and journaling, and I write down all the things I'm grateful for. And it sounds like an easy task on paper because it is. It's quite easy. You know, you wake up, you just do it real quick, done. But the importance of it and the gravity that it has as well, it's such a powerful thing, and it can really change your perspective on life and your enjoyment as well. It When I first started doing it, it was quite a while ago, but I wasn't quite a positive thinker. In fact, I was quite negative all the time in my head. My head would just tell me negative thoughts all the time, and I was just thinking through, like, every day walking, I just always have these bad thoughts. But now, like, there's easier things to point out. It's like it puts light on it, and it's like it was always there, sort of thing. So, if you're looking around for something, you're gonna see it more rather than if you're not looking for it. And I kind of see it as that. It's just training. That's all it is, just repetition. You're making sure that you're telling yourself every day, like, you're making sure that you're aware of things that you can be grateful for, like even the smallest things, like, being able to breathe, or the space in the room right now, which is making this room a room. Like, that's such like a minute detail that no one's probably really ever thought about. But the room in this room right now that I'm in is letting me move around, or like my limbs and the blood that's running through my body is letting me move and feel healthy. Like, that's a beautiful thing. I thought it was quite embarrassing, or I thought that it was a bit stupid, that, like, writing down things that I'm grateful for, it just sounded a bit like dumb. It's 100% worth it. And especially, like, if you have really bad thoughts every day, it kind of just helps you look at the brighter side. And who doesn't want to live a better life? um it's being stubborn about, like, the position that you're at and being like, oh well, no, I want to be negative. So, like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, what are you doing? When was the last time that you said you were grateful to your mum or to your siblings, or you've written a little letter for them? You know what I mean? Those things, like, being kind to others, is one of the things that makes you feel good. Like, that's a really big thing. um if you're trying to feel better, then use gratitude to other people, and give other people help. When you see other people struggling, help them out. You know what I mean? And that shows senses of gratitude. So hopefully, when it comes to you just walking on the street by yourself, you can look around and be like, damn, I'm really grateful for this, I'm really grateful for that, I'm really grateful for, that it's not raining right now, and that it's sunny, it's a sunny day. That's beautiful thoughts to have, man. Doesn't that like excite you? You know what I mean? Like, doesn't that make you feel better? I think we can all take quite a bit of responsibility for the way that we feel, and how everything affects us. Is definitely just the way that you can perceive your life. And obviously, like, your life decisions have a big impact on that, but you're essentially in control of whatever you want to do and however you want to think. A practice that I like to do as well is referring to either my 80-year-old self, or, like, because I'm 20 years old, relating to my 24-year-old self. And I'll say why. The 80-year-old self thing is, it's from Alex Hormozy, and he talks about referring to his 80-year-old self to make him more grateful for getting up in the morning. Like, and it kind of sounds like absurd, but, like, I don't have back pain when I wake up, or, like, I can stand up, I can jump, I don't need help walking, my limbs work fine. Like, isn't that, like, that's great? It's great to think about. And it puts you in perspective of something that you take for granted every day, like the how you can walk, how easy it is to open a door or to pick something up. Whereas in 80 years, it's going to be a little bit harder. You're going to have a little walking stick. You know what I mean? But, referring to that and putting yourself in that mental headspace where you're like, yeah, imagine if I actually was 80 years old. How, like, what would things be like? And then refer back and be like, oh shit, like, I'm not in that position. You know, if I really convince myself like that my back is, to be fair, my back's killing right now, but like if I really convinced myself that my back was killing, and I was like, wait, my back doesn't even hurt, like I'd feel good because, you know, you told yourself that your back was hurting and then now you're not. And if, you know, you feel calm, right? And that's all it is. It sounds like a bit of delusion, which again it is. Yeah, you need to be a little bit mentally absurd to, you know, change your mind like that. But essentially, it has such a good impact on you that why wouldn't you want to do it, you know? Um, and the 24-year-old self, at least for me, I look back on videos that I've made, or, you know, I made like personal memos for myself, and I look back on them and I always think like, damn, I was so much smarter back then, or I'd done so much more, and I was putting so much pressure on myself in the video. Like I can see myself saying like, oh, like I need to do this and this and this, but I'm doing this right now and I'm doing this. And, you know, I always look back and I'm like, damn, you're doing so much. Like, why aren't you giving yourself grace? Same way that I can say that to myself right now. If I'm thinking 24 years ahead, or no, if I'm thinking 4 years ahead, and I'm looking back on this video that I'm making, I can think, damn, like I was, you know, I'm setting up my camera every day. Like I was being productive. Like I should have patted myself on the back for it, which maybe I haven't. Like, to be fair, I haven't. You know, then it reminds you to be like, oh yeah, like I'm making these videos or I'm doing this task, and, you know, I should, future self would appreciate me for it. So therefore, I now need to appreciate myself too. Why don't I deserve it right now? Which I do. So, so yeah. And honestly, like I feel like having a positive and grateful mindset kind of, it's like the opposite to depression, right? When I think of depression, I just think of negative, bad thoughts all the time, and I feel like I've been in that sort of headspace at some point. But, you know, the opposite is just 10 times better, man. Thinking about the things that you're grateful for, and, you know, everything good that's going on in your life, you know, just give it a try, and stop listening to your brain if it's being stubborn, because I know my brain was being stubborn about it as well. Like you want to just stay in your old ways because you're more comfortable with it, or, you know, you've grown an identity to it. You've grown an identity to just being a moody person. It's not cool, and it doesn't make you feel better. So what the fuck's the point? So just cut it out and just, you know, just give it a try. Just write 5 things that you're grateful for. They can just be little things, or they can be sincere. You know, you can write a little bit about it. Like, if, I don't know, let's say one of your parents done something really nice for you, then, you know, you can refer to that and just say, I was really grateful for this person. They done this for me. It was really nice. I really appreciate them. You know. And then, yeah, show the love too, you know, maybe write a little letter to that person being like, yo, like, I really appreciate that. Or like sincere talk, just being like, look, I really appreciate you for saying this. Like, you're my boy, or, you know, you're my girl. You get me? But yeah, just a little short video. I hope it helps you with your journey, but see you later.